Ain't you sick of giving me your money?
Oh, it's... Oh. I know he didn't do it, baby.
Hold on a second. Whoa. Where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these drop balls.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Charlie DLO Thomas. I'm a marketing professional by day, MC by night. I'll pass the mic.
Hey, this is Opal Elisa. I work in corporate finance by day, and I am a poet, spoken word artist, and MC by night.
My name is Corey Whitmore, owner of Media 22 and Radio 22. My day is my night, most days.
No
And
doubt.
my name is Randy Webb, guest on the show today. Happy to be here. Cryptocurrency educator, teach about money, and love just getting out to our community.
Absolutely. I mean, he that's a little bit of what he does. So he's very humble, which is great. It's a blessing to have him on this show. But he's an absolutely dedicated family man, real estate investor. He's an inventor as well.
Yeah.
And we're just really blessed to have him here today. And before we get started, we always say grab some sort of a notebook.
Please.
Listen on audio. I'm holding up a notebook right now and a pen because you need to absorb all the information and the jewels that I know that this man is going to share with us. So we are really thankful for you to be on the show today. How you feeling?
Great, man. Thank you for having me. I love it. Love it already. So
Absolutely. So, let's get right into it. So today we're going to go over a topic that, I'm sure you've seen all in the headlines, you've seen in the news, you've probably seen people throw ads at you and a bunch of spam, but we wanted to go straight to the source with someone who does this all the time and educates about cryptocurrency, right?
Yes.
Let's get started. First, I guess the number one thing for me is how did you get introduced to cryptocurrency and what is cryptocurrency?
Introduction, man, it's crazy. I know we go back. Back when I was in my previous company, we were doing with travel. My little brother, he had just been on me about, bro, you need to check out this company Binance. You need to check out cryptocurrency. He wouldn't even talk about. He was talking about Tron. We didn't talk about Bitcoin. He was like, hey, you gotta check this out. It's going up. It's doing this and me back then. Being in that company, I was felt like I was traveling everywhere. We were good,
Right.
and I wasn't really hearing it. And it wasn't until the end of 2017, roll into 2018, that I got an open mind. Obviously, we were transitioning businesses. And I said, all right, little bro, let's sit down. And so my little bro sent me some information. I get on this exchange called Binance. Okay. This is crazy because where it's at today is it seems like it's been around for years, but it's been only 4 years since that. So I get on Binance. I learn how to do a little trading on there. And then, of course, I get involved with a company by the name of iMarkets Live, iMastery Academy. And it started with Forex. And then we went into the cryptocurrency education portion. And crypto went from not being a big deal to me to being life because I started realizing what it really is. And so, when we talk about cryptocurrency is something or a digital input or a data input that is input on something called the blockchain. Okay. And treat the blockchain as a digital ledger that cannot be manipulated, right? It's similar to you walking into a bank today. And if you were to walk into a bank and say you want to deposit $1,000 into your bank account, okay, well, that ATM teller is going to ask you, hey, what's your account number? And they're going to ask you some information to identify that's the security, right? To make sure it's you. Let me see a form of ID. All right, cool. And then you're going to say, hey, I want to make this deposit of $1,000 into my account. Well, what they're essentially doing is just putting that number, data input, into a ledger. Okay. Now that's called a centralized ledger, right? The blockchain is a decentralized ledger that the world can actually see. Okay. And so let's just say that bank is Bank of America. Well, Bank of America has its own centralized ledger. JP Morgan has its own centralized ledger. So we go to Bank of America, I put my deposit on there, it locks in, boom. Okay. Now, if I start swiping my card, it's going to automatically take things off of that ledger, right? To give me my accurate number. So that's all it is, something that controls data. Now, what's the problem there? Well, if you go look up things, you've had tellers that have stolen money, whether you know or not. Some people are losing money from their account and just don't know that they're losing money from their account. Okay. Right. And so that centralized authority, hence, that huge bailout in 2008, we didn't know the banks were doing bad. Okay. We didn't know they had toxic assets that we, the citizens, had to pay for. So now the blockchain got created. Okay. And now it's that data ledger that has an algorithm that does it by itself. We no longer need the ATM teller. And now I can go into my phone, enter some data on that ledger, and boom, it holds there and it can't be manipulated. Okay. So cryptocurrency basically is a data entry with a special cryptographic security on top of it. Okay. That lets it know it's you and only you can obtain it. It cannot be hacked.
Oh wow,
nice. I love that breakdown. Like I've heard and I've read, but that was really clear. That let me like start to see some things. Super dope. Love that. I'm super excited for this, if you can't tell, because I'm already taking notes. But you said that like your little brother introduced you to this. So like, can anyone buy it? Who can buy it? Are there age limits? Like I hear kids talking about it. Like my daughter's a teenager, and Bitcoin is Bitcoin that. So can you speak on that? Like who can buy it? And are there some limits to that?
The great thing about it is anybody can buy it from around the world. So this would be considered like big. Obviously, you have different cryptocurrencies, but the mother of all is Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin truly is your only decentralized cryptocurrency, okay? Because there is no owner of it. You may hear the name Satoshi Nakamoto, right? Not a real name, just someone or a group of people, okay, that got fed up with the system, said, let's create a whole new payment system, all right? So cryptocurrency can be bought by anyone, and it can be bought simply on Coinbase.com, Crypto.com, Uphold.com, okay, Binance.us, I believe it's the US version. The easiest place to buy it from, though, is Coinbase or Crypto.com. Okay. Do not buy it from Robinhood. Okay. You're not really buying cryptocurrency. Okay. That's one of my questions. Don't buy it from Robinhood. They are not Robinhood.
They robbing for real. Like
age limits. There is an age limit, obviously, to be verified on these exchanges. You got to be 18 or above. However, okay, as parents, for my parents out there, I pay my son in crypto. Okay, my son has, because if they got a smartphone, I'm gonna tell you, this is powerful. Okay, they got a smartphone. You can have them download what we call a warm wallet. Warm wallet just means that, so you have hot wallets, warm wallets, cold wallets. Cold wallet, okay, if you are able to see this video here, okay, it's like something like a nano ledger. Okay, here it is right here. A nano ledger looks like a thumb drive. Okay. And basically you keep your kind of your codes on there. Now this thing can break, and essentially my currency is on the blockchain, okay, like a cloud,
right?
But this also holds my codes. But I will get these, what they call your phrases, okay. When you have those C phrases, let's say I lose this, I can go buy another one, plug it in, and then put in those phrases, and it will take my currency off of the blockchain back onto the end. This is a cold wallet right here, okay. It's not connected to the internet until I plug it in, and then your phone typically downloads what we call a warm wallet. It's an app. And so it has access to immediate internet. Okay. Now, the reason we call it warm wallet, because you understand, the new digital crime is hackers. Okay. Now they can hack. I said that the blockchain can't be hacked, but they can hack your information to get your information to come off the blockchain. Okay. So this is why it's important to understand the security about this thing right here. The chip inside, everything. Okay. But with your kids, you get them an Exodus wallet, exodus.io, right? Anyone can go on and create one. You don't have to put your name on that, okay? Because we're identified by a number. This is what gives us complete privacy as well, too. Okay? The blockchain
nice. Okay. We all like that, but we were all like,
it's all right. My name ain't on that. Okay,
because I can remember. We're going to be able to see these transactions. If you were to go to blockchain, I would say blockchain.com, you can see money flowing. Transactions. That's what it's open source. It's awesome.
Really?
Okay? So we're all just numbers. It's powerful. So you get to see real money flowing, and it's there. Okay. So I sent my son allowance to his Exodus wallet. So right now he's a proud holder of XRP. He has some Bitcoin. He has some Ethereum. My goal is that my son's going to create his own millions. He don't have to use Pop's millions unless he wants to multiply Pop's millions more. But
oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Amazing.
That's incredible, man. That's $1 million worth of game. Not to name drop another podcast, but but yeah, that man, my brain is going like this right now.
Yeah.
I love y'all getting it. I love it.
So let me take it back as I'm the baby steps guy of the group and say, hey, I feel you. But I want to make sure I got everything in line of understanding to make sure I have a full understanding.
Yeah.
So when you're putting money, when you're using cryptocurrency, that concept for a lot of people is foreign. It's virtual. When you have regular currency, you have dollar bills and things. I can see it. I can hold it. If I put it into something, I know that I can get it back.
Yeah.
For people using cryptocurrency that may be investing with cryptocurrency, how does that work? I mean, if I'm investing in stocks, that you're able to put something in and you're able to sell it and you're able to get it back. And you can go and put it in your bank account or take out the money. Does cryptocurrency work in the same way?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say it's better. Here's why. And the reason for the cryptocurrency, Smith, it's about the transparency. That's the part.
Yes.
Right? You understand what our economy does to people, right? Remember, everything is about supply and demand. Okay.
Yeah.
But what we have happening right now with the printing of money happening right now, there are trillions of dollars being printed and you're seeing an astronomical number of inflation. Now, I know they're saying 6% based on what they call the consumer price index. Listen, I got smart with these terms. Okay. There was once upon a time I wouldn't even ask the question because I don't want to look stupid. Okay. But this is where I like to come in for our community and teach these terms, right? Consumer price index. What does it mean? It's where they put a lot of random things in a basket. Okay. To determine the overall inflation that's happening. Okay. But really, so you're not crazy when you're looking like they say a 6% interest, but this don't feel like 6%. Inflation. If they say 6% inflation, but this don't feel like 6% inflation, that would just be 6 cents for every dollar. Right. You're looking at gas like
right.
But, gas look like it doubled in price.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
We're in hyperinflation right now because hyperinflation is anything over 50%. And so, they're saying the CPI, they might have some random things in there that don't even have demand on it. So it's a manipulation of numbers. And then you have real inflation. Let's talk about groceries, milk, gas, real estate, right? I made a lot of money in real estate for this reason. Real estate in the past year has went up. The median real estate cost has went up by $150,000 in 4 years. It's going to go from the median home cost right now is $427,000. It's going to go to $718,000 in the next 4 years. So if you're in the real estate game, congratulations, you're about to get massively rich again. Okay, but cryptocurrency, however, digital assets, electric money has always been electric. Okay, I know we learned from grandma. We put the money in the jar, put it up under the mattress.
Hold on to it.
Hold on to it. But y'all remember when in the 90s, we didn't always have Visa cards. Like you had to have a credit card.
Right. Yep, I remember that.
Right? Yeah. But then remember when debit cards got the Visa emblem on it? We thought we was I got the Visa. You could tell different when someone had a credit card or a debit card.
Right.
Okay. That closed the loop for the money. Right, they created the ATM machines.
Right.
Okay. Then they had us taking the money out of the machines. Okay, we got us used to that. Then we got used to. Then we started swiping our cards and not having to put the numbers in. Okay. Right. Then we went to the electronic. Well, you insert your card in for more security.
Chip.
Okay, so that's part of it. So money has naturally been electric. Okay. Right now we have a 29 trillion national deficit, a national debt. Okay, 29 trillion.
Man.
I watched it go from 18 trillion in the past 4 years to where it's at now. Okay. What does that mean for us? Okay. Electronic money, once again. Okay. That means they're basically robbing us of our buying power. So this physical dollar, I have some silver right next. This is the old way of doing money too, by the way. This is the actual silver coin right here, right? $22 was worth. They were just set up at like 30. That's driven by inflation and demand. But when you don't know how much silver coins are out there, whether we have an unlimited access, okay, or limited access, well, that changes the price of things. And so what our government is used to doing is they place what we call contracts, or what we say ETFs, electronic traded funds, on top of it, which it now kind of dilutes what's real. Okay. So am I buying silver or am I buying an ETF? You know, similar to what our money is, right? Putting an astronomical amount of money out there is going to impact something. So because they're able to manipulate the silver or the gold source, it keeps price on a rack. Okay. Manipulation. The stock market. Can the stock market be manipulated? Yeah, it can. So we talked about buying. You can see the stocks. Yeah, you can see it. But what happens when the company says, hey, we're going to do a reverse split, or we're going to do a split? Okay. Because they want to change the price and they're going to make more of a share. Okay. They're taking a bet that more people will buy the shares. Wonder if they don't. Wonder if people start selling. Well, then you actually lose money.
Right.
Okay. And so that's another system that can be manipulated.
Right.
When it comes to cryptocurrency. Okay. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the mothership. So Bitcoin, there's 21 million of them. Sometimes, and because I want to explain the pricing, people are like, why is it so high? Because you're seeing the actual price buying power of where your currency should actually be going. Okay. You know, it's like yesterday gas was $2. Today gas is $4. Well, you just lost 50 cents on every dollar. Okay.
Right.
Well, when it comes to cryptocurrency, we're going to see that push up. Okay. So my money's never going to lose value. And so it's the same as money, except it's limited. There's 5 things you got to understand about, or really 6, but sound money. Okay. For anything to be sound, that means it's good. The first thing for tabs to make it sound is it has to be accepted by people, right? We have to want it, right? Which people, we've now accepted cryptocurrency. The government tried to get rid of. They understand these 5 things, y'all. Okay. So they try to collapse what? Acceptability. The scammers use it, drug users use it, all this bad stuff.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, right.
Guess what? They use the bank money too. Okay, so right. Durability, being able to have wear and tear on it, right? So we look at a silver coin like this. It's good. I can throw it out in the rain and sit there. It's gonna be forever. This is pretty durable. But then we get to the next thing, okay, durable. Then we talk about portability. Can it be transportable? Now, listen, y'all. I don't know if y'all know this rule. Okay, this lady just got caught with $100,000 in her bag trying to leave the country. Her money, but that's our money now. Okay, so that really legally there is no portability of any money because you can't port out more than $10,000. Think about that.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Okay?
That's a fact.
But then let's talk about weight, right? I can't carry out gold bars. They definitely don't see it. Your bag. Okay. So the portability, or in the bartering stage, you may raise cattle. You got to walk your cattle at 5 miles up the street to go give it to someone. Your cattle die halfway in the trip. Okay. So it had no portability. Okay. So it wasn't really sound money. Okay. Then we get to divisibility, right? It's the means to divide something to where there's no remainder. I want all my money. I want every penny. Okay. So divisibility is powerful. Yeah. We get to, let's say, a penny. A penny is only divisible by. But when you look at cryptocurrency, it's divisible to the billionth of a cent. Okay. Why? Now this is a little bit math in public, but a billionth of a cent. Okay. If you were to put $1,000, if you were to find a token, which is something built on a blockchain, cryptocurrency, if you were to find a cryptocurrency token, right, that at a billionth of a cent, and you invest $1,000 into it, when that thing moves by 3 zeros to the 100th of a cent place, your $1,000 investment just became $1 million, and you still didn't get to 1 cent yet. This beat penny stocks, y'all. Kicks penny stocks out the market. Okay. I know my mind. Listen, when I try, all I do, I see numbers, y'all. Okay, I try to divide up many ways to make $1 million. All right, so, that's that part. So divisibility. Then what do we have? I say acceptability, intrinsic value. Okay, what value does it have? Right. Okay, obviously this silver coin, it has value because we can melt it down. We can make a silver chain. It goes in a lot of devices that are required to get built. So this has intrinsic value in it, right? Okay. If I ask you what intrinsic value does $1 have, you can say I could buy something with it. What happens the day that you can't buy anything with it? Then we're just like Zimbabwe. Okay, you could have $1 trillion of Zimbabwe dollars and it ain't worth nothing. Okay. So the only intrinsic value that our dollar actually has, that is legal tender, okay, from the Federal Reserve. Right. And that's a whole nother note. Understand, it's a debt instrument, because every dollar that you hold is actually backed by a treasury bond, a treasury bill, or a treasury note, okay, based on maturity. So we actually carry around debt instruments all day long, and we work for debt instruments. So essentially the world works for debt. Okay. So when you get to cryptocurrency, what's its intrinsic value? Well, the ledger. It can't be manipulated. It can go for a long source. I can build on it. I can bring my product directly to consumers. Okay. It's an electronic payment system that I don't need to go through a bank anymore. Okay. I can actually create my own banking system. I can sell real estate through it. You know, there's so much you can do on the blockchain, because it's a ledger that doesn't require human interaction, but requires a smart contract. So let's say if I want to sell my house to Bradley, right? Okay. There will be a data contract set up on the blockchain. And what I would say is, you know, over a 30-year period, you know, Bradley has to pay me $1,000, let's say, a month. Okay. Damn. And when that's complete, this deed that's in that smart contract is going to be released to him.
Okay.
And so eventually the last payment goes through, it releases the deed to him as a NFT. Okay. Releases the smart contract to him, because he's assumed the contract is over, just like a vending machine.
Okay. So there was a lot of jewels in there, a lot of information. And so now I'm kind of understanding things, and you started to talk about.
I missed the last one.
Okay, go ahead.
The most important one: limited supply.
Okay.
This is what makes cryptocurrency, or really Bitcoin. Not all cryptocurrencies will be sound investments. Okay. Right. Limited supply. Bitcoin has 21 million. Limited supply is what's going to drive up the value, because as demand goes higher, value goes higher. And the supply, once it runs out, it runs out. And now there's a high demand, no supply. Guess what? The price has to keep on going up till someone's willing to sell. Okay, that's the last part I had.
Okay, cool. So you're talking about Bitcoin, but then I know there's other types of cryptocurrencies too when you're talking about smart contracts. So do different cryptocurrencies do different things?
Yes.
So are there any maybe top 5 that you would kind of like maybe focus in on, like if someone who's first starting that doesn't really know, where should the foundation start?
Absolutely. So obviously number 1 is Bitcoin. Decentralized, all roads lead to Bitcoin. You know, I'm gonna give you this one rule: bust your butt to own one Bitcoin. Okay. One. Okay. Okay. Because that's where market share is coming from. You know, a lot of people, you got the biggest guy out there, Michael Saylor Corporation. He got his corporation to invest. He owns 121,000. I think he's up farther now, 125,000 Bitcoins.
Oh my!
Okay? He's in a position to make about $30 to $40 billion in Bitcoin during this next run happening right here. Okay, but here's your next one. We talk about smart contracts. The creator, the mecca of smart contracts is obviously Ethereum. Okay, I just literally bought an NFT. And I will talk about this NFT world. Is it a bubble? Absolutely, but guess what? It's a demand, so it doesn't matter. Okay, money is moving, and you got to respect it. Okay, so Ethereum is definitely top 2. Okay. Why is Ethereum such a big deal? Well, they have a lot of partnerships, okay, being built on top of their blockchain. They have the different, I'll just keep it very simple for my tech people. ERC21 and ERC7, is it 750, 721? Basically, they're just different things you can build on top of. And because they have all these partnerships and people are building on top of their blockchain. So treat it like, when I say building, during the .com era, you had ITs that can build different apps and different websites. Okay. Well, now we have the blockchain, and developers are now learning how to build apps on top of the blockchain. Okay. And so the more apps built on top of the blockchain, the more partnerships, the stronger it gets, the more money is flowing in. Okay. So that's why Ethereum is definitely number 1. Here are the major partnerships. Adidas, first of all, you guys probably heard of the Bored Apes Yacht Club. Okay.
I have heard of them.
These NFTs, they started off selling for 0.08 of an ETH, right? And so ETH back in the day, ETH was when I was talking about in 2020, ETH was sitting at $700 to $1,100. I told folks to get in. And now ETH, so an eighth of an ETH would have been $800, around $900. Today, ETH is at $3,800, $4,000 now. Okay. So now an eighth of an ETH will be about $3,000. So Bored Apes right now are going for like $3,000, and they're turning around selling for $150,000. Okay, it's crazy.
Wow.
Now I'm not gonna tell you I truly get that, but I will tell you how it works. Okay. Just know that people are flipping their money in that way. Okay, I just recently bought an NFT through that same club at a lower level. It's always good to get in at base level. Now, not all NFTs are going to sell, y'all. Okay.
Right.
You know? And I'm going to give you a rule. Don't fall in love with a project. Okay. It's about flipping. You get that joker, it doubles your money. You just know when to get out. You know, they said pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered. Okay. Don't try to make $1 million off 100. Okay. If you can turn your 100 to 1,000, that's a good lick. That's called you 10 extra money. That's the part by the rule. Now, if you try to 100 extra money, you're trying to become a hog. Okay. You know, the Walmart effect. Let's try to do a lot of them.
Yeah.
Really, really fast.
Yeah.
Okay. So Ethereum. And so I said all that to say this. Bored Apes also basically partnered with Adidas. Adidas just did a drop for their brand because they bought one company out, and I don't know the exact name, but they basically partnered with them, and they dropped 30,000 NFTs yesterday. Okay. And they had a lot of people trying to get it. Well, guess what? They sold out in less than an hour. And each of those each of them went for $1,200. Adidas. Okay. Each of them went for $1,200. You can only buy two. Okay. They basically made over $22 million in less than an hour.
Wow.
And when I say money moves differently, money is moving differently. Okay. Yeah. And so with that being said, here's where it even comes in. The people who bought the apes from them, the NFTs, turn around and sold them for 4 times the price they bought them at.
Yeah.
That means we seen $100 million move yesterday. And the great part is the company shared the benefit. The company got 20% when they dropped it. Right. People basically completed the other 100%. They brought the other 80 mil in. So we are able to now, instead of the stock market, so think about what the stock market was, okay? You can't just be in the stock market, you got a stockbroker, okay? But when the crypto market, we all can participate in this digital economy and flip money, okay? So that's my plug for Ethereum. So Ethereum is powerful, but we got an up and coming Solana, okay? Solana, in my opinion, is the next up and coming Ethereum. Why? You know, you won't know this until you become someone who builds an NFT. Okay, I've always been an investor. You know, I can buy the cryptos. I can invest, move it around, look at the chart. Love that stuff. When it came to building NFTs, you know, I was trying to figure out what can I make an NFT. Well, then obviously I dropped my book, or at least the pre-purchase of my book is an NFT. And so I started looking where I wanted to build it's basically a class, build my class on. So I started with OpenSeas, which they build on the Ethereum platform. Okay. Well, I launched on Rarible.com. I launched my NFT there. All right. I didn't think about what they call gas fees. Okay. Gas fees is what it costs. We call a miner, someone who mints it on the blockchain. Okay. They get a fee for doing these things. All right. Okay. There's another plug. Anyone can become a miner. You know, you use the computer and stuff like that. There's different jobs that we can make money in this field with. Okay. So a miner in Ethereum gets $200 for the most part, $100 to $200 per lick. Well, during this time, I'm selling my NFT for $150 on Rarible. They mess around, had to pay gas fees of $200. So I had 3 people who bought my book pre-purchase the class for $350. That's not what my intent was. I said, "Hey, stop, hold." I had to hold my project, and then I started searching around. I said, "Okay, let me look who has low gas fees." And so I went to Solana. I liked that platform, but I couldn't build on top of that because it wouldn't allow me to have enough data. So then I ended up going on the Cardano platform on Token, and I built on that I can upload to the blockchain, and the gap near none, minimum. Okay, so that's exactly what I was looking for. And so Cardano and Solana are my picks. You can build on top of those platforms. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano. Who am I missing on there? There's some other ones. Mana is dealing with metaverse. We won't go into the heavy on that. And then Sand. Yeah, but know that people are buying digital land with those.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So much to learn.
Okay. My page is full. Like I'm going to get some paper over here. This is amazing. Oh man. Yeah, this is awesome. So you started to get into this a little bit. So you talk about how, you know, what's great about this is anyone can get in. But again, this can get complicated. I imagine if you have a lot of money too, really complicated. So I work in the world of credit unions and traditional banking, and we have like financial advisors. Are there crypto portfolio managers and people who do that for you? Or do you? Yeah, you could talk about that. That'd be good.
Because when you start walking down that field, right, you will be considered a financial advisor. So obviously I'll put my disclaimer, not a financial advisor, but I'm a crypto educator, right? Crypto consultant. So I can teach you how crypto works, and then based on what I teach you, you can come up with a strategy for yourself, because this is about being decentralized now, right? We have to take our brains from the centralized system of, hey, the banks have the financial advisors that actually work for them, okay, are going to plug into one of their products to sell, okay? And then you have cryptocurrencies about becoming independent. However, banks are like, hey, looks like we ain't going to win this fight. We going to plug in with crypto. So you have some banks now that are saying, listen, my clients, they want to participate in cryptocurrency. So they are offering services in the crypto space. So maybe you don't want to hold a nano ledger, or maybe you don't want to do your own crypto. Well, there are some banks. Now, my opinion, that defeats the purpose of doing crypto if you're going to allow them to still do it. But, I mean, it's
That's
there.
True.
Okay? But there are crypto educators that you can go find out there. Me personally, I'm a crypto educator. We have a company, academy that we get to plug people into that to learn. That's where I learned from, because I would know none of this that I'm talking to you guys about. So no financial advisors, but there's a lot of information and educators out there that are very, very good at what they do.
I love that. All of it. I love the entire concept of that. And I feel like, not to go off a little bit, but I feel like that's the thing. Like, we've been so, either because we don't come from a family who talked about money, we don't know. And then we're afraid to ask, right? Or we just feel like we can't. And this piece is saying, like, the onus is on you. Understand this, right? And you can do your thing. So I have had goosebumps like 4 times already.
Yes.
So I'm always interested on the impact that new technologies have on different industries. So before I move forward, I'm gonna apologize to Opal before I ask this question. But what is going to be the impact on the traditional bank structure that as we know it, since you've basically said that you are your own bank and you can go direct? What do you think that impact is going to be?
Absolutely. Listen, that is the problem. From JP Morgan, right? I always mention JP Morgan, the CEO. He does not like Bitcoin whatsoever.
We can see why now.
Absolutely. JP Morgan, listen, he started off as the Mr. JP Morgan, the real Mr. JP Morgan, 1900s, right? He was a financier. He's the reason that the Federal Reserve Bank was started, the financier of really that whole big meeting when it kicked off. Okay. Now I'll just plug. The Federal Reserve is not a federal bank. It's privately owned. Okay. We owe the Federal Reserve $4 trillion in interest. Okay. Based on how our system works. Okay. So now understanding that our whole banking structure is built under the Federal Reserve, private institutions. Okay. And so you have these wealthy people behind these banking systems. So what's the become of the banking system? I don't know, because they are learning how to pivot. Okay, they try to, because all you gotta do is shake confidence with anything. They didn't want it. They don't want crypto here whatsoever. Okay, but now this here is not going anywhere for sure. It's $3 trillion industry, and so now JP Morgan's like, our financiers say that Bitcoin is going up. Oh, really? So now they're involved, and now there's central banks are talking about creating what we call central bank digital currencies. The truth is, they've always had digital currencies, y'all. Okay, money's always been electric. What they're saying is, we want to be a part and capture some of that profit that's transitioning through. Okay, and so by people becoming their own banking system, just know that only 30% of the world is banked anyway. That's the first part. And of the people that are banked, banks have what we call VIP service. Okay, 80% of the people that are in the banking system have less than $1,000 in their bank account. Okay, so the banks are only tailoring their services to 20%. And once you hit $1 million, okay, there's special services you get. Okay, you start getting, I know I can make 12%. I can make 12% on my money. You didn't offer that, didn't want to have $1,000 in the bank. Money. Okay, so they don't offer you those type of services. So I think that banks will still be here. They're just gonna find a way to offer the services through blockchain. And so this is where we call CFI, centralized finance, kicks in, where they build on top of the blockchain that they can't manipulate, which is great. Okay.
Right.
I think that they just got to become competitive now. Whether we knew it or not, our banking system is a monopoly. Okay. And we kind of proved that with cryptocurrency. They were trying to collapse it. And even to the point where government got involved to, if they could, let's be honest, if they could have right out said it, they wanted to say that Bitcoin was absolutely illegal. You can't have it. But that's not what America is built on top of, right? We're built on top of democracy, choice, right, for the people. And the people are saying we want crypto.
Right.
Okay? So they couldn't blatantly come out and say crypto is illegal. So they try to collapse the system in all type of ways. And I don't believe that they can do it. It comes with shaking confidence with anything. Okay. That's what our politics is. I kind of just went on a rant here.
No, that was good because you had interconnected it in so many ways previously in the question with Opal when you're talking about a bank, that when we're talking about people having that crypto portfolio and who would run that. And that's also a pivot that banks could be making to try and get in, on that cryptocurrency where they can get a little kickback themselves. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
No problem. I'll tell you, for those who really learn the system right now, only less than 1% of people understand cryptocurrency. There's only 60 million cryptocurrency wallets documented right now. Okay. Less than 1%.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So what does this mean? If you're hearing this message, okay, that means if you become, because most people think they're late. They're like, Bitcoin's at 50,000, I'm late. No, you're not. Okay. Less than 1%, y'all. Gold used to cost $20 an ounce. Okay. A little thing like this costs $20 an ounce is now $1,800 an ounce. Okay. So, the Dow, which is the top 30 companies that are looked at, on the stock market is made into an ETF, right? And they combine these together. Well, the Dow started at like $200 per share, is now $35,000 per share. Okay. So Bitcoin is going to grow. Now, what it took for them to get, it took decades for that to go there.
Yeah.
In cryptocurrency years, folks, we're talking about 5 years, 10 years, we're talking about $1 million. Wow. Okay. And so we get 10% of the population to look at, I'm talking about the world. This is not just US. To say I'm in on crypto, which is happening. El Salvador, it's legal tender over there. So these things are going to happen in 10 years. Okay. We get 10% now, and you were in the top 1% when Bitcoin was sitting at 50. Well, Bitcoin is going to go to $500,000 at a $10 trillion market cap. That's going to happen. Okay. Then eventually, $100 trillion market cap. That's all going to happen. Okay. So we looking at potentially a $1 million, $5 million Bitcoin. Why would it go that high? Because once again, there's only 21 million. Now, do you have to buy a whole Bitcoin? I know that will be a question. You don't. You buy percentages, and that's what makes it special. Right? Most people, you look at Amazon, you're like, I want to buy some Amazon share. I know they're going to go up.
Right.
But you got to have $3,500 right now to buy one share.
Right.
You can't get a piece. Okay. Crypto, no matter who you are, $5, $1, you can get a piece in the crypto space. So once again, I go on my rants all the time.
Hey, keep on ranting because we listen, and I know the people are picking up so much value from everything that you're sharing, Randy. I had a quick question, about just cryptocurrencies. Like, are there certain ones or certain ways you kind of look at a cryptocurrency that has a low value right now that you could that you find interesting, like, maybe I should look into this, maybe I should put some money into this? Are there any like criteria that you look for?
Absolutely. And I actually wrote down some. So first thing I look at, obviously, utility of the cryptocurrency. What was it created to solve? Sure. So every cryptocurrency is to solve a problem. Okay. They're not all just, I know they all can be utilized as payments systems, but they all typically solve a problem. Like Ethereum was built so that developers can build on top of it, different type of apps. Bitcoin strictly storage of value payment system. Okay. Limited amount of supply. Okay. So I look at the utility. Second thing, I look at the partnerships. Who are they partnered with? Because that's important. Okay. Not all crypto is going to be the same. Okay. If you hear this crypto is partnered with Adidas, this crypto partnered with Michael Jordan and a son, listen, Solana plug. Okay. Michael Jordan and his son are going to be building on the Solana platform. Okay. So that's why I invest in that coin.
Okay.
Also look at, when I talk about utility, some things to look at. Is it built on its own blockchain? Okay. Remember, a cryptocurrency that's built on top of a blockchain is called a token. So its own token. So Ethereum is a token built on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay. So Ethereum is not just a cryptocurrency. It's also a token. Okay. So you have Solana. Solana is a token because it's built on its own blockchain. Cardano is a token. It's built on its own blockchain. Who else did I give you guys? I gave you all the ones I gave you were all had its own blockchain. XRP, they built on its own blockchain. That's a whole nother one because I think that's going to be cross-border payment system. But so number 3, I look at demand. Right, it has to be demand there. Obviously, that's what drives price up. Okay, so what are they doing to promote? Okay, a lot of people, they start Telegram groups or Discord groups. They get some hype around it. They'll partner with some athletes or whoever, right, to put the hype up around it. What is it for? The supply. That's a big difference, okay? Because if you don't look at the supply, you're gonna find yourself buying a lottery ticket. Okay, I'm just put it like that. Okay, right. I will tell you, it's better than a lottery ticket. I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna say some coins that you heard. It's better than a lottery ticket, but it ain't a long-term move. Okay, so. Right. Dogecoin, doggy coin, however you want to call that coin. Right. Okay. Sheep or Shiba. Okay? Whatever comes ever after that. Okay. These are all, they make unlimited supplies of them. So it's no different than $1. Right. So you can be up and then all the way down because they drop, let's say it drop another 1 trillion, and boom, it cuts you see it instantly. But that's why you don't want to invest in something that has a unlimited amount of supply unless they have things being built on top of them. Because if you go look at Ethereum has an infinite number of supply that can be built on it, but they also have a burning mechanism, meaning they burn coins as well too to keep the pressure going up as far as inflationary pressures, right? To keep the value going up. So when you start understanding that part, then you can look at ones that have unlimited supply. And then lastly, marketing. Marketing is a big deal.
Right. Okay.
So those are the 5 things I look at when I invest into a cryptocurrency or a project.
Okay. So like the dogs and the Shibas, that's just hype. Like that's just something everyone's telling you, but it's not. Okay.
Yeah. Now here's what I learned from someone, and I have to agree with it. Sometimes you can be super educated that you miss money. Okay. So I did hear about, for example, I heard about Sheepcoin back 12, maybe 13 months ago. And it was like at the billionth of a cent point. Right. Yeah, I could have been in. Right. But I laughed and I clowned people and like, you doing that coin, and it was a learning lesson. Okay. Yeah. Because one thing that we have to account for, if I can make this 6th thing, culture. Right. What is culture? Media. People are going to do what they're going to do. Right.
Okay. I got you.
Markets are built up of human behavior. That's all a market is human behavior, how we buy and sell things. Okay. Right. And so, yeah, we may laugh about Dogecoin, but people buying them because they heard it on the news. Right. Okay? And so if you're a smart investor, I have a rule now. I'll keep about 5% of my portfolio in meme coins. Okay. Fun. It's money that I can blow 5% of my portfolio. It's okay. But then one of those coins, may make up 100% of the portfolio because that's how it works. Had I invested $100 in sheep when I heard it, okay, that would have been, what was it, 100 million? It was $100 million. Now, would I have held it that long? Absolutely not. Okay. The first million, I'd have been out. But the fact that putting $100 in something, and maybe I would hope that I just forgot about it, seen it on the news again, be like, dang, my portfolio's at $100 million. Okay. It has exponential growth opportunity. Okay. These meme coins, but just, you have to treat it. It's a lottery ticket.
Right. Gotcha.
Nice. So I have a couple questions. So it feels like you kind of have to be a little bit active, right? So you got to watch things. You can't just be really, really passive unless you bought a Bitcoin, because those aren't going, they're not making it anymore, right? So these other things you have to check it. Is it like a daily thing? Is it an hourly thing? Do you just, if you see things trending, how do you kind of treat some of those things, like your 5% that you're
I would say, as far as the 5%, the meme coins, I just know out here, when I open up my portfolio, I open up my portfolio because it's, you look on your phone, you see CoinGecko. I use CoinGecko, and you put your portfolio in there. So I like to see, am I up for the day or am I down for the day, just to see it. So me personally, I would look at that thing every day. But most people, you can look at it weekly, you can look at it monthly. But this, it's passive investing anyway, because you just buy the coin. Right? You have traders out there. I'm a trader also. Being a trader, I will look at the charts. I'll chart out something. I'll say, okay, I'm looking for a buy opportunity here. And I may set an alert for myself for when price hits there, and then I'll buy in. Okay. And then I'll have a certain point that I'll get out, or I can even sell it at a certain point until it gets down to a take profit. That's trading. Yeah, I'm going to have to be a little bit more active in the market. Passive is just, hey, you buy, you don't have to worry about it. Okay. We do actually have, believe it or not, there are certain seasons that crypto is going to go up, and we're all waiting for it. Like right now, this is bull market season. When you hear it's bullish, we know that Bitcoin is going to bull up. We know that all the cryptocurrencies are going to bull up this year. Okay. So, we're expecting, Bitcoin 100,000 to 200,000, expecting 8,000 to 12,000. So we have all these price projections, and we expect it to happen between now and maybe, April, May timeframe. Then after that, we go into a bearish market. And so this is when everybody gets kind of down, but this is when when you're experts. Okay. We buy the dip. When we say buy the dip, we buy the low prices. Right. So most people who are inexperienced, when they get in, when they hear all the hype, when they hear the hype
at the top,
when you're hearing the hype, I'm selling.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. So as a passive investor, listen, when you hear the hype, you know that you're going to sell. Warren Buffett says it's very simple. He says, listen, when people are enthusiastic and they're excited, you should be scared. Okay. Right. When people are scared, you should be very, very brave. Okay. Because our people, that's what the opposite is. People are scared when money is low. One of my billionaire mentors said, listen, I don't get it, but the financial market is the only market that can go on sale 6%, 7%, and people won't touch it.
That was good. That was so good. It took me like half a second. That was good. That's so dope. So is there like a certain amount you should start with, or a minimum amount? I know it might be different for everyone. So like if you could say like, hey, I'm saving X amount a month, what percent would you kind of say, look at crypto to start with?
I mean, for the new persons, the golden rule, right? 10%. 10% of your portfolio, and then when you get comfortable, listen, I'm completely unbanked for the most part. I would say I'm 90% out of the old system, only 10% of the old system. So basically 10% is in the bank, enough to live. Okay. Nice. Most of my money is in investments. So I'll be like, I'm broke. Okay. Investments way up. I keep no amounts in my account. And that's how I operate. That's how most investors operate, actually, especially when you're talking about creating a lot of wealth. But for the average person, just kind of dipping this toe in, they're kind of scared to lose money. Start off with 10%. And then when you watch that 10% grow, you're going to be like, you know what? I think I want to go 20%, 25%. You'll start changing some things around.
Nice. So, sorry, are you like DLO? He uses crypto at the grocery store. Like, is that how you work too? So because I'm still shocked by that.
Right. I'm gonna tell you. So obviously I keep on giving the plug, Infinite Cryptocurrency Concepts, the banking that I've created. So I run my dollars through that system. And when I say I run it through that system, before I spend $1, I put it to work. Okay. None of my dollars leave my household as a liability. Okay. My dollars leave as an asset. And so what I do is I put it in this banking system that we create, which what I'm saying is I buy Bitcoin. I back my dollars with Bitcoin. Right. Okay. Because today the dollar's back with nothing. So therefore its debt is decreasing in value. So I back my dollars with Bitcoin, and then I borrow against it. Okay. So let's say, I make just $10,000 a month, right? Then I put $10,000 in my banking system. I borrow $5,000 out, go do what I have to do with it. But I still have $10,000 of that asset. So when Bitcoin goes up, for example, if it was 10, if Bitcoin goes up to 200,000, that 10,000, even though I borrowed 5,000, that 10,000 becomes 40,000. Then I pay the $5,000 back, and I got $35,000, even though I spent $5,000 earlier. That's how I spend money.
Nice.
So you're making money while you're spending money because the investment is still sitting there.
The investment's still sitting there, exactly.
Yeah.
Infinite cryptocurrency concepts, infinitely making money.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
This is unbelievable. I think my brain exploded about 4 times. And in our conversation, I was one of those people at DLO, like, I'm late. What do I do now? I'm trying to get in because I still felt like I was late, and I'm glad that you explained that. Like, no, you're still in the beginning phases if you were to get in now. So that's crazy, and I think a lot of other people will be comforted by knowing that as well.
Absolutely.
So for an individual, and this kind of bridges off of what Opal had to say, I have something I can set aside, but I can't. I'm not at the point where I could spread it in a lot of different places. And I've watched podcasts, and I've looked at different things, and I've seen crypto, and I've seen real estate, and I've seen stocks. I feel I know the answer, but I would love to hear from you. Where would you steer people for their, I guess, first investment? where would you steer them to go? Which industry? Would it be more stocks? Would it be more real estate? Would it be, no, you need to start with crypto? What advice would you give them?
Definitely start with crypto. Okay. I still do the real estate thing. So, before the pandemic, thank God, sold all my real estate. Right? I was the guy, we were going to get rich through real estate, renting all of our properties out. And I don't know if y'all know what happened. Okay. This economy, big businesses got richer. The mom and pop lost. Okay? Yes. So if you were middle class and because mostly it was middle class trying to get into the upper class where they own, I own 12 properties and I was just dishing them off year after year. I doubled all my properties. 2020, I sold my last property and I thank God that I didn't have a renter in it because I was renovating it for the past year. Because what happened? People got to basically stay in your house for free. And you have to be able to basically cover, those mortgages. And if you were over leveraged, you went in foreclosure. You lost investment properties because people weren't paying rent.
Right.
Okay? And so I was able to take that money and actually put it into cryptocurrency. Today, now I would say, why don't start the real estate game first? Start in the digital real estate game first, right? Buy Bitcoin, flip your money a couple times. Now you can go out and buy real estate when it's time. Okay, because Bitcoin is moving much faster than real estate. It's more liquid and it's actually treated like real estate. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys an example. What I would do in real estate. Okay, mitigating taxes. You go buy a property. Let's say you buy a property for $50,000, right? And that property goes up to $100,000. Well, if you sell it within 5 years, you're gonna get hit capital gains tax. Or if it's already considered, maybe your third property is not a vacation home, then you're gonna hit with capital gains tax because it's an investment home. All right. So to mitigate that $35,000, I need to mitigate how much money I'm taking in profit. So guess what? You don't get taxed on loans. So I go to the bank and I say, hey, give me a home equity line of credit. Okay, as long as the banks approve me. Now, some banks, even though it was your asset, they may say no.
Right.
That's why I'm going to tell you why cryptocurrency is important. But let's just say they do give me the loan. So I get a loan of 80% of the value. So they give me $30,000 more. Okay, I owe $20,000 equity is what I have for the property now. So I go buy a new property with that 30 I just got from them, new investment. And then I turn around when it's time, I sell that home. Right. When I sell that home, I'm just going to get taxed on the $20,000, whatever's left after the insurance gets their part. Okay. Right. And I've already been able to take my $30,000, put it in a new investment property. Okay. Or you can do a 1031 exchange or whatever. Okay. In the crypto market. Okay. Same example. Let's say I got $50,000 of crypto sitting there. Okay. Well, as long as I keep it in the crypto economy, okay. So now from Bitcoin, we know Bitcoin is volatile. So Bitcoin will go to 200,000 and it's going to drop to 80 because that's what it does. It's called, ebbs and flows, but it's still an uptrend. So you don't get caught with that pullback. We're going to take it from the top. So let's just say my 50,000 goes to 200,000. I'm going to take 200,000, park it in something called a stable coin, right? Your stable coins are USDC coins, what it's called, USDT Tether or multi-chain DAI. Okay, these are stable coins that are pegged to 1, right? That means your value will not change. So I move that over to that stable coin, and on my 200,000 remains 200,000. Then every year the market goes on sale. The market's going to go on sale for 60 to 70%. When it goes on sale, I now buy back in with my 200,000. And listen, I had one Bitcoin before. Now Bitcoin goes down to 80,000. I now have 2.5 Bitcoins. That's how I keep on multiplying every year. And then what do? I borrow against it. It goes in my account. I don't get taxed. Bitcoin does it again next year. This year it goes up to 400,000. I pay off my loan. Okay. Yeah. Move the rest over. Bitcoin drops. It's on sale again. I buy back in. Now I got 6 point something Bitcoin. This is a real scenario, by the way, y'all. This is I'm explaining concepts. Okay. So all we're doing is, we're entering low, we're transferring high. Never a taxable situation. Plug, not a tax advisor whatsoever. Make sure you get with a tax accountant to validate any of that information I'm giving you. But just know, listen, cryptocurrency is hot right now. And you got this education. I don't know what type of regulation they're going to put on top of it to stop that. As of right now, it's the wild, wild west. And it's the time to make a lot of money doing it. The right way.
Exactly. Right. Yeah.
Right. The right way. You're not, money the right way. Hide money. Somebody says, how do I not pay? Right. Illegal. Okay, we're doing this the right way. We're gonna make a gang of money the right way.
Right. Huh.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna rewind this episode and listen to it myself again. Yeah. Because I love that scenario. You mentioned a couple things. So you mentioned NFTs and random conversations. So we're all artists, and I know I've seen Tory Lanez. I know he dropped an album and he made like millions in a matter of like, I don't know, like 90 seconds, something like that. Crazy. So, and we have other friends too that have been telling us, hey, y'all artists, you do music, y'all need to be doing NFT. So can you kind of break down like, and you made one yourself. Can you kind of break down the process of how to like how to make one and like what are the advantages of it and just everything about it that you know?
Absolutely. So NFT, non-fungible token, just means something that's rare, something that's just yours, is one of a kind, right? Your music would only be your music. Your art would only be your art because you drew it. So that's what an NFT is. And then also an NFT, determining what blockchain that you build it on. So we already talked about blockchain. It's just a peer-to-peer system. It allows me to take my product straight to my consumers without having to have a middleman. I don't need the record company anymore. Right? I don't need the art district. I don't need a art gallery because art gallery gonna rob me of 50%. Okay, and I keep royalties forever with art that I drop as an NFT. So first thing you want to consider is what is it that you want to do? Okay. Second thing is what blockchain will tailor to the type of art or music that I want to put down, right? So Ethereum, what's happening with Ethereum right now, you guys may Bored Apes Yacht Club, big ticket items are pretty normal on Ethereum because the gas fees for Ethereum, you're going to pay between 100 to 200, maybe even more for the gas fees. Some gas fees are $1,000 based off the cost. Right. So, but I look at Ethereum as that luxury driver. Okay. So you buying big ticket items. So if you're going to have a big ticket item, you'll build on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay. Or if you're like, well, no, I don't really want to charge my people that much money. I want it to kind of be organic. You might look at crypto.com, something simple. I haven't built on top of theirs yet. It doesn't look like they're following the traditional blockchain system. It looks like they're using regular currency, but it's still, they're doing something with the blockchain. Okay. So you can drop an NFT on crypto.com. Snoop Dogg has NFTs on crypto.com. Okay.
Oh, nice.
You can build an NFT on Cardano. That's where I built my NFT on. I want to keep a cheaper value, cheaper gas fees. And Cardano is up and coming. Also, it's an up and coming project. Cardano is $1.25 per token right now. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So when I charge people, I'm like, hey, my project costs 105 ADAs. So right now it's 105 times 120, and that's what they're going to pay for that project. Well, eventually that's going to go up, and you're still going to charge 105 ADAs. Okay, because it just went up in value. So you're going to determine which blockchain you want to drop on. How much data is going to require. Most of these blockchains, these apps built on the blockchains for NFTs, Solana, for example, only 60 megabytes. Most of them were 100 megabytes. Cardano, I was able to use another company to actually download my whole 1 hour class as an NFT onto their blockchain. So that's why I had to end up using them. And then you want to create promotion around it. Okay, so if you're already a hot artist, maybe you run your own Instagram. So Tory Lanez, you're already a hot artist, right? Got his Instagram. He got everybody pumped up about him dropping the NFT. We knew exactly where to go. He said, I'm gonna drop it on this day. And there was a huge frenzy around because that's important. How you launch is important. And so I was there. He launched. My daughter called me up, and my daughter's like, "Man, Pops, I just bought." She ended up buying it she bought the NFT for like 100, but there was some mix-ups behind it. He basically sold his NFT for $1. Okay, so he made the NFT creator. Listen, you can do whatever you want with it. If you're hot, drop an NFT. Okay, he dropped his album for $1, and so boom, people bought the album. And if you bought a lot of them, see, had I know $1, you would, to make a really good profit of that, you would want to buy 100,000 of his albums because that price can be very slow. Why? Because it's a lot. He made up $1 million of them. So we would have to look at the numbers. How many followers do we have? How many people really listen to his album? How many people really buy his album? Is it really 1 million people that are like fans? Because there's not a lot of demand for it because you put so much out. Okay, had you put like 10,000 copies out or 100,000 copies out, that would have been different. So because of that, there was an initial frenzy where some people bought for more than $1. But now I see them going for $2 right now. So if you bought for $1, you made a profit of 100%. Okay, obviously you would want to take 10,000 of them and turn 10,000 to 20,000. Your promotion is going to be big, and your partnerships of when you drop an NFT is going to be big. The magical number has literally been 10,000 or below as far as dropping NFTs. Create an ecosystem around it. What are your people going to get when they buy your NFT?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Maybe you own a restaurant or something. So hey, I'm only gonna put out 1,000 NFTs, and you get this 1,000 NFTs. As soon as you come to my restaurant, hey, listen, you go to the front of the line, or maybe you're a club. Okay, you get you get red rope. If you own this NFT, you just show the NFT, you get red rope service. Okay, and then they know that they have something of value that they can now sell now too. Man, my brain is ticking right now because I'm thinking about sports and all types of
I see.
Right.
That's for new industries, man. Like,
man,
like,
there's so many industries. I told my wife, I said, man, I need to be a business consultant. I said I need to be. It's kind of what I'm doing, but really a business marketing consultant in this crypto stuff. Because I was just talking to our coffee guy, make an NFT, and just offer perks. And something that is people be like, man, I want to get that NFT, and they can't because it's already sold out. They would have to go buy from OpenSea or another, back door so they can get that NFT from somebody, and that creates demand.
And so, let's say I buy the NFT, can I resell it? But then the owner of the original NFT, but they would still get a royalty if I were to sell it, like resell it to
if they
someone
put that in their smart contract. So I put 10% royalties in my smart contract. So anytime that my NFT is sold, I get 10%. No matter where the cost goes. So they have it to where you can get 100%. Now, I wouldn't do 100%. Someone would be pretty mad at you if they turn around and sell it, and then you get 100%.
It's like a record label. Yeah. Cool. Thank you for the breakdown.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, my mind is just going to okay, so there's kind of like this. Is it like an open marketplace? So if I had bought, say that Tory Lanez album, right, limited, right, even though it's $1 million, still limited, and I wanted to turn around and sell it, is there just kind of like this? What does it look like? Because I'm trying to like picture what that marketplace would look like. It's like eBay. What is it like?
Yeah, you consider it like an eBay, right? It's an open, it's an open marketplace where now on that same, like for Tory Lanez, I think he released his on e-nft.com or something like that. And so they'll have their secondary marketplace. So if you can't find when he drops it and they all sell out, you can't buy it no more from him. So you got to go to the secondary market. It's like going to the album store, going to the used section, like somebody turned the album, they want to trade it in. Right. Now you got to go find, who's selling theirs. And of course they're going to mark up the price. And so you got to go sell it for the market, whatever the marketplace price is. Yeah. So I literally just bought an NFT with the people who did Bored Apes, right? And when you buy, you literally can turn around and put it back on the market and resell it. So it's like an eBay on the blockchain. Exactly.
Yeah. So like, especially like with the Adidas piece, right? So I feel like I'm a huge Beyonce fan, right? So whenever Ivy Park drops a new thing, like I know, right? And it sells out too, right? So number one, I feel like they totally practice with with the Ivy Park on how to do some of the ape stuff. But is there a place you can you sign up with like these places? So I would get like an email alert saying, hey, this is going to go on sale, or is it always like a surprise drop and you just got to get on it?
So obviously a lot of research, but there are places. So OpenSea.io, is where a majority of the Ethereum blockchain stuff is sold. Rarible.com, I think it's Rarible.com or Rarible.io. Token.io is the Cardano blockchain. They haven't really got too hot yet. And then I think Solana is launching some stuff too. Solana, Solana. I don't know if it's .com. Just look there. So Solana.io probably. But yeah, sign up, make an account, and then of course you'll get emails when things are going to drop. And of course, I follow different news channels. I follow news.bitcoin. Okay, I follow Cointelegraph, I believe, or CoinGraph. And so you'll see a lot of this news pop out of what's happening and what's launching. Your goal is to be first.
Right.
Nice.
Absolutely.
So I'll tell you, Michael Jordan, his son, is about to do something on Solana.
I got that starred on my notes.
That's crucial. That's a move right there. Yeah.
So with the NFTs, and I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. They can be different. They can be different forms of things from what I'm hearing. Because when I heard NFT the first time, I was like, oh, I just got to put up a picture or something and assign some value to it. But you're saying it could be a picture, it could be a book, it could be a video, a course, it could be an album, it can be all these different things.
Absolutely, because all an NFT really is, this is a payment system.
Yeah.
Right. If you understand, I'm in the merchant system as well too, understanding merchant accounts.
Yep.
Visa, they make a gang of money. Okay, Visa, MasterCard make a gang of money being the middleman because they got a way to deliver money from this point to this point.
Right.
They don't need them no more. Okay.
Right.
We got blockchain, and you just say, I want to accept mine in Cardano. I want to accept mine in Solana. I want to select mine in Ethereum or Bitcoin. And so you build on whatever one you want to select or have investments in. You build on top of that, and now your customer buys that coin so they can buy your whatever you have. So from them to you, nobody in between. That's all really an NFT does for you.
Okay, I got to put one more other thing out. Please correct me if this is a bad analogy. So my son plays, as many kids now play. What is it? Roblox, and what's the other one that everybody's in?
Minecraft.
Hey,
no, Roblox, and there's a second one that's just like
kids, Minecraft, and then there is another one they play. I forgot what.
But
let me look on my phone. It's probably
right. And kids, you can comment and drag me on this in the comments if I'm getting the wrong one. But he goes on there, and they have something called like V-Bucks or something on there.
That's right.
In which they use that currency to that game to be able to get skins and other things that they uploaded. Yes, and all these other things.
Yep.
Is that are they being trained in almost a form of cryptocurrency? Not exactly.
Absolutely.
Already with this game and what they've done in creating their own currency on the game.
Not only are they being trained, right? They are far ahead because that's the metaverse. They are being trained. My daughter is 9 years old. Okay. And if I showed you what she's built in Roblox, she builds.
Right.
She'll say, Daddy, look at my sleek home. Look at my modern. She looks up home. She builds them for real.
Yes.
And my daughter has gotten so good. She's 9. She builds homes and people pay her the V-Bucks for them.
Excuse me?
My daughter has a job inside of Roblox where she basically architects and build homes, and she gets V-Bucks for them. On Roblox.
Wow.
That's wild, yeah.
Because Daddy detached his Visa card from those accounts when I learned that they could use the money. Okay. Like, what? We spent $300 in a day on what? Right. That really happened in my house. I said, get that Visa card off the file, please. Right. They see the future. These kids have learned how to build in the metaverse. There's something called Decentraland. Remember I gave you out one of the times?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mana is Decentraland. And Decentraland is metaverse where you can buy land in right now. Okay. Yes. And it looks like Roblox for adults. So Roblox is actually going to be a part of the metaverse.
Wow.
So
my daughter's on that game heavy.
Let your kids play Roblox and figure out how to monetize it.
Well, I was asking my son questions, and I was like, how do we get the station in there and stuff like that? He's like, I don't know, but my friend knows. He's on all the time. I was like, well, son, I was going to hire you. It looks like I'm going to have to hire your friend. Wow. That's incredible.
Hilarious. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We listen, money is moving way differently. You know what? Our minds thought, because we got trained to be in a work system. Okay.
Yeah.
The work system requires us to be in a system for 30 to 40 years because they need that labor hours out of you. Okay. And America hasn't changed, y'all. Okay. We just went from servants to indentured servants. Okay. You get paid. Right. Serious. This serious note. Okay. And most people now, everyone, it doesn't matter the color, are indentured servants. Right. They're making just enough money to live.
Right.
And that system taught you that you had to do 30 to 40 years before you could even retire. You ask somebody, when you retire? Everybody else retires 65 years old. No, new retirement you can be done with your job in 5 years. Okay. You can invest in the crypto space right now and you do something, you're making millions of dollars, then you put it into your own banking system, you're earning 10% per year. Let's say you're earning 10% a year on 10 million that you created through crypto. Okay, real scenarios.
Right.
And now you're making $1 million off of a stable coin per year. You're done. Okay, that's where new money is at right now. The million, right? $1 million is the new 100,000. Okay, a billion is the new million. Right? That's why you're seeing millionaires, right? That you are used to, maybe your favorite artists. They're not looking at $1 million anymore. It used to be a million ain't nothing now, right? It's now they're talking about 9 figures, 10 figures, billions.
Right.
Beyonce,
Right.
Jay-Z, billionaire.
Yeah.
Kanye, billionaire. Kardashian, billionaire. Okay. Kylie Jenner, billionaire. That's the new target.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you got a book. Can you tell us about that a little bit? Like,
Absolutely.
where we can find it and everything.
So currently, the book is in publishing right now. The physical book will be coming out in the next 60 days. It's called Infinite Cryptocurrency Concepts. Okay. How to unbank yourself from the traditional system. Okay. And create enough money to start living off the interest. And ultimately what this system teaches you, first of all, I'm gonna walk you through the education about money. Only 16% of people understand the basics about money, right? The research was done. That means 84% of people who work all day long for money don't even understand how it's made or created. They understand about the Federal Reserve or anything. So in the book, I try to simplify a lot of terms, a lot of things, history about money, because when you understand the history, it can't repeat itself, or at least you're ready in position. So, it's going to break down the history of the banking system, right? Number two, there's a book called I got it right next to me, The Creature from Jekyll Island. I don't know if you guys read that book before.
No, I never heard of it.
Eddie Griffin. My God, he exposed, how all that came into part, how politics mixes with the banking system. Okay. I talk about family ties in the banking system and politics. Okay. Breaking that off. So there's going to be some aha moments. Okay. Even to the point where we got this pandemic going on, you probably wondering like, why Johnson & Johnson, why Ted Brennan, the founder of Johnson & Johnson, also making the vaccine. Okay. Johnson also created the 401k plan. First company to take it. Think about that. Both of those things are broken.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. I break down the 401k plan. The numbers. I break down how banks create money out of thin air. So most people don't realize that if you were to go to a bank right now, that your money physically will not be there. Okay. This is why when a pandemic happens or when a hurricane happens, say in Florida, they immediately say you can only get $1,000 out. You may have hundreds of thousands in that bank account. You can't have access to it. Okay. Because they don't have enough money there. So prior to March 2020, if the fractional reserve required banks to have at least 10% of real money on hold. Okay. That means if they wanted to loan out, say 10 grand, they would have to have at least $1,000 in their safe. Okay. That was before March 2020. Okay. And so that means, I will tell you, it's 73 levels deep. So how 10,000 will turn into $100,000 just on paper, not physical cash. So what happens is they can loan out 100,000, keep 10,000 in the reserve safe. When they give that 100,000 to someone, that 100,000 gets deposited to another bank. What can they do? Well, they put 10,000 away and then they give 90,000 out, and it goes forever for about 73 levels down. It will create about $100,000. Okay. March 25th, 2020, the Federal Reserve removed the reserve requirement. So banks don't have to keep any money inside the account. So it's the story that never ends. You put 100,000 in, take 100,000 out, 100,000, and it just repeats itself over and over and over and over again. Okay. So this is why when you hear them talking about raising the debt ceiling to 3 trillion, they're not really saying it's not really 3 trillion. It's 3 trillion infinitely. Okay? 3 trillion becomes 300 trillion, becomes 3,000, it's beyond. Okay. So I break that down to why, and that's your buying power, to why you do need to unbank yourself and take control of your finances and put your things in a vehicle that goes up with inflation. Okay. And then I bring you to the end where I teach you how to unbank yourself. Well, the NFT itself is going to walk you step by step how to unbank yourself, which apps to download, step by step how to put security on it. Okay. And then let me give you the plus. I push Bitcoin mostly. You can invest in any cryptocurrencies, obviously in your banking system, but Bitcoin is the mothership. If you own 10% Bitcoin right now, just 10%, okay, with Infinite Cryptocurrency Concepts, that 10%, and I'm gonna just say bull runs. I don't want to call it years because it could be that a bull run may take 2 years. But every time that Bitcoin goes into a bull run, we know at minimum it may double what you have in there. Okay. So what we're expecting this run up is that Bitcoin is going to go to 200,000 or 100,000 or so. So by you having 10% of the Bitcoin and let's say it goes up to 200,000. Okay. Well, that means, let's say your 10%, which would have been about $5,000 right now goes to 20,000. Okay. Well, you remove at the top, and then it's going to go back by 60%, hitting it back to 80. And now you buy back in. Now your 10% of Bitcoin just became 20% of the Bitcoin. Okay. And then next year, guess what? You do it again. Then 20% becomes 40%. Then 40% becomes 80%. Then 80% becomes 1.6. I'm Jay-Z, 444. He said 125 to 250. Hey, I'm serious.
I haven't really named nothing. Yeah, I know.
Money, but I'm going to teach you, and I didn't even talk about keep on putting more money into the system. Okay, it goes faster than that. And then lastly, the best part is you're taking loans the whole time through the process, so therefore there's no taxes happening on it. And so you have an infinite system of creating wealth that's real tax-free wealth. So what it took most people to do in 30 years in their retirement plan, based on the projections of what cryptocurrency is doing right now, you can be done in 3 to 5 years on your own. Okay. And so that NFT, I know I wish I could just take my brain, give it to people. I have that NFT. The goal is to sell 10,000 of them. Currently, 50 have been sold. But here's what I know. When you get it, okay, I know they say we can't guarantee that people are going to be rich. But what I will say is that I guarantee if you get the education, there's no reason why you shouldn't be rich following the system. Okay?
No doubt.
Period. So Infinite Cryptocurrency Concepts. I have a Telegram group. I'll just plug with you guys. If someone wants to hear more about it, they can buy the NFT, have the pre-purchase of the book. So I can't wait till people read the physical book, because I know that's where a lot of it's going to click in. Like, man, I definitely need to do this. And I believe each one teach one. Right? Getting this out to our community. Let's just talk about the color line. Okay. We African Americans are the lowest in the financial markets, and we can talk about we've built. Let's just be honest. We built this country. Okay.
Yes.
Built on the back of slavery, regardless of what they're trying to change the mindset and eliminate the storyline. Okay. Okay. It is what it is. We built this country. Okay. And there is no reparations that you're getting. Okay. Our reparation is going to come through our education. And right now we have a window with cryptocurrency that we can position ourselves as people and continually, even though our people are stubborn. Okay. We just got to keep on yelling it, and eventually you're going to get it. And I want to take us from being at the bottom. Let's get in the middle. Okay. Let's go to the top. We are at a point where we've always been creators. When you think about everything in this world, we're creators. Okay. We create culture. We create the music industry. Motown, look at we made culture. Art. We made art. We GPS. Okay. All the hidden things Black folks have made, but it's been changed around, flipped around. And we call it's been whitewashed. Okay.
Right.
And now we have people like us walking around thinking we ain't created nothing. We created a lot of stuff. Okay. And we got to document it. And so I believe that cryptocurrency now is a place that we can all come together and get our funds up. And now when you make your million, 10 million, whatever you get to, you give back. You teach, right? You put lawyers in place, whatever it is that you want to do. But I believe wholeheartedly, for me, that cryptocurrency is the answer for our community.
Absolutely. And will they be able to access that website that we talked about?
Absolutely. I'm gonna listen right after this call. I'm gonna make sure it's working. So, Infinite Cryptocurrency Concepts. I'll have my information on there. InfiniteCryptocurrencyConcepts.com. And I'll have all my information on there. And you can watch the video about the concept. And then I'll also have a Telegram group that you can add yourself to for free. Okay. So at least if you want to get more information, I'll be in that group. You can communicate with me and have any questions. And like I said, my goal is that you educate yourself, that I elevate your family's finances. I wish I had someone to do this for me. We were talking about, I think I heard your other podcast, as a matter of fact, financial advisors. I love it. We need more of that in our community. It's okay to talk about money. We've heard all these cliche things that, we don't talk about money. Why? We didn't talk about money because we ain't got none. I don't want you to ask me for no money. You ain't got none.
Right.
Yes.
So it's time to open up that conversation in our community.
Man, I got chills again. You talk about the community like that. Like this is everything. This is a line when you have blessed us and our listeners today.
I appreciate
it.
And
can anyone join that? Because I will be joining if that's open for anyone.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're gonna see my name.
I'll make sure Bradley got everything.
Nice.
And we can catch you. I see you got it already up, like at the official Randy Webb on Instagram.
Yep, my IG is
follow you there too. Okay.
Yep.
Make sure it's spelled correctly. Listen, man, the Instagram game is something. I've had me and my wife. I got a lot of imposters. Let me just give you a disclaimer. I will never ask anybody for money. Okay, so make sure you look at the official Randy Webb. Make sure it's spelled properly. because people will put underscores in there and change it up. So that's the right one right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had a few Randy Webbs come at me. I'm like, you ain't Randy Webb. I know Randy Webb. What you talking about? Like, come on. You wouldn't even come at me like that. Like,
it's so crazy because then people, I had a couple people like, yeah, I gave them. I'm like, what? I said, I've been charging too cheap. You gave them that much money? Right. Crazy. The price just went up. Okay.
This is great. So I want to say, Randy, thank you for your time. Huge shout out to your family, because your wife is amazing as well. Both of y'all together, just a fabulous team. You continue to inspire me. I know you've inspired the listeners today. I know you've inspired Corey and Opal. So I really appreciate your time. You've dropped so much knowledge and given back so much value to us that I didn't even think you was going to provide. I knew you was going to provide a lot, but you exceeded my expectations. So I really appreciate the time, brother.
And I love it. And I love this platform. I love what you guys are about, and so I'm going to be plugging in myself because I love the content. So keep it up. If you want to have me back, hey, I'll come back. I love it. Okay. So appreciate it.
Love to have you back.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, everybody. I know y'all going to rewind this back. I know we will. Make sure to follow us on YouTube. Where all the video content will be uploaded. We always love to throw in our shorts on IG. Make sure to follow us there. And we also have everything archived at myradio22.com at Black Currency Podcast. Mr. Webb, thank you. Man, I don't know how many times I'm gonna play this. It'll just probably just be on rotation in the car. We're gonna let it run through as I keep going to work.
I know that's right.
Yes.
But yes, we'll definitely have you back. So we appreciate it. We appreciate our audience tuning in. This is the Black Currency Podcast, and we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Peace.
Ain't you sick of giving me your money?
I know he didn't do it, baby.
Whoa, where you going?
No, I'm about to go make these drop balls.